Today in Total War Warhammer 3, we are going to be ranking the Chaos Dwarfs from worst to best. Coming in at the number 3 spot is Drazoath the Ashen. His faction effects are armaments cost minus 10% for all unit capacity upgrades in the Hellforge, as well as an armaments output of plus 10%. And then for his lord effects, he gets a campaign movement range of plus 10%, an upkeep minus 25% for Kadai units, and the passive ability Dark Renown. And then for the campaign, you start out in control of the Black Fortress, and you're in the Badlands. Your starting enemy is the Darkland Orcs, and for nearby enemies you have Imric, who is right next to you, Kugath Plaguefather, Gorst, and on one side of you you have normal dwarfs and greenskins, and on the other side of you, you have ogres and eventually Grand Cathay. For your unique items, you can get the Graven Scepter, which increases control, melee attack, and also gives you the Graven Scepter ability. You can get the Demon's Bite Crucible, which increases spell mastery, targeting range of Laura Fichette spells, leadership for your whole army, and gives you a spell resistance of 15%. Then for the Hellshard Amulet, you get a passive ability that reflects melee damage, as well as gives you ward save. And it also increases your Wisdom Magic Power Reserve, as well as adds a 5% ward save to your army. Then for skills, you can increase research rate, as well as decrease construction time and cost for buildings in the local province, reduce the armaments cost for increasing capacity for Kadai units, while also buffing Kadai units even more, increasing income and materials from cities, some buffs to yourself, and get some bonuses for the Flames of Azergath. So why is it that Drazoath the Ashen is taking the number 3 spot? Well, the issue is there is not an actually weak Chaos Dwarf. All 3 of them are extremely powerful. However, out of the 3, you have the worst starting location since you have elves, demons, vampire counts, dwarves, and ogres, all nearby. And your starting city really isn't in a very defensible position. And while the armament improvements are nice, the other lords just have better benefits overall. Coming in at the number 2 spot is Astragath Ironhand. His faction effects are Conclave Influence gained from all sources plus 10%, Research Rate plus 10, Control plus 2 for all provinces, the passive ability Mechanical Overdrive, Casualty Replenishment plus 5%, and a ward save of plus 15% for Bull Centaur Render units. For your starting location, you start out at the top of the Badlands, and you're at war with the Slaves of Zar. For potential threats, you have the Bone Rattlers, Grimgor Ironhide, Ungrim Iron Fist, and Thorgrim Grudgebearer, so basically dwarfs and greenskins. For your unique items, you get the Stone Mantle, which increases your physical resistance but decreases speed, a ward save of 10%, and a reduction for miscast chance for all characters. And then for the Black Hammer of Hashut, you gain the Black Hammer of Hashut ability, increase control by 1 for all provinces, as well as increase your weapon strength by 15%. Then for skills, you increase your magic, Diplomacy, buff your Centaur Render units even more, get plus 2 hero capacity for all heroes, and you also get some Winds of Magic cost reduction to the Hellhammer, which might be one of the best spells in the Chaos Dwarf roster. So why then is Astragath Ironhand taking the number 2 spot? Well, he is extremely good. The extra control is always welcome, and increased casualty replenishment rate is always awesome. However, his buffs to the Bull Centaur Render units is extremely niche, since for the most part you're going to be using actual Chaos Dwarf units or artillery. And while the Conclave Influence as well as research increases are also pretty good, it is the lord who has the number 1 spot as truly the best faction for the Chaos Dwarfs. And that lord is Zatan the Black. His faction effects are maximum number of active convoys plus 1, recruitment cost minus 50% for artillery and war machine units. He increases casualties captured post-battle by 15%, increases local recruitment capacity by 1, and gets the ability Sadistic Snare, which can freeze an enemy unit in place. For the campaign, you start out in the Chaos Wastes above Grand Cathay. You start out at war with the Kurzag, and for potential enemies, you have some ogres who are going to get destroyed by Kolek, Grimgor, all of Grand Cathay, and possibly the Warriors of Chaos. But here's the thing, the only way for anyone to attack you is either past the Granite Spikes, from the Chaos Waste, which you will quickly take over, or from one of the 3 gates of Grand Cathay, which means that once you take your first few provinces, there's only a couple directions that anyone can even come from to attack you. Then for unique items, you can get the Armor of Gazrak, which can increase your damage resistance, melee defense, as well as armor. Then you have the Obsidian Axe, which increases your damage output, armor-piercing weapon damage, weapon strength, and gives you sundering attacks. And then lastly, you get the Chaos Rune Shield, which makes all units nearby immune to contact effects, increases your missile resistance as well as ward save for yourself, and increases the casualty replenishment rate by 15% for all units in your army, which this can be stacked upon the General of Tsar skill, which reduces upkeep while increasing casualty replenishment rate by another 10%. So you're sitting at a plus 25% casualty replenishment rate. You can also increase your post-battle income, casualties, and labor, give all units in your army increased armor, leadership, and melee defense, as well as reducing enemy leadership by 10 in the local region, as well as buffing your own stats even more. Zatan the Black is absolutely and utterly busted. But the other absolutely crazy thing is you get the Tomb of Kengai Khan, which reduces upkeep for Hobgoblin units in all armies. Which means that Hobgoblin spam is not just a viable strategy for you, but a recommended one, and it is because of all of the insane bonuses that you get, and how easy it is to increase your labor, as well as the casualties captured post-battle, that Zatan the Black is taking the #1 spot on this list. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Also, go check out my Discord server as well as my Patreon. Links to both those in the description below. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.